energy, and I mean local energy, meaning it could be anything from putting a car next to your house in a garage. That's a local energy. Remember, we talked about that carbon monoxide or a electromagnetic field. That's a local energy. Using paints in the house. There are lots of paints. Next time you use the paints, make sure it does not have a lead and it does not have aluminum in your paint, or at least it is in a small amount, not big amount, because the paint is the largest amount we use in the house if we do paint the house. And yes.
What is lead? What is not?
Second.
What is lead?
Lead.
No, I understand the percentage.
Oh, it's hard to say, but in US we have a zero now. In paints, we don't use anything with a lead. Lead has proved to be the respiratory problem in your system, in your breathing system. So they used to use lead pipe for bathrooms and right. Not anymore. In the US now we have a PVC pipes. We don't use lead pipes. So painting a wall is equivalent to having a skin in our body. You know which is the biggest organ in our body? The biggest organ in our body? Skin. We take very little care about this skin. We should do massage, we should do good bathing, number of baths we should take. It's important because you should do yoga. It's all about helping skin and many other things. But so the way we should take care about our body, same way you take care about the skin of the house, and make sure that it doesn't have a lead or it doesn't have aluminum. That's number one. Number two, every time you seal around the window, and it's called sealant, right? It's called sealant. That sealant should be non-toxic. Most of the sealant they use around the house, I don't know what the word you use here. We call it sealant. Basically, it's like a white thing and very spongy, right? Right. It is very highly toxic. It can hurt you in terms of all the way from skin problem to a cancer. And you should not have that. See, as long as you are not going away from local negative energy, I call this local negative energy. Cosmic energy, how good it is, how big it is, it's not going to help you. Because local energies are disturbing you all the time. If you don't feel healthy by doing the right thing, and if the environment of the house or fabrics of the house is creating negative energy, then you are not going to feel good. Another thing I saw on this island is that you have a lot of metal on the window, right? You have a lot of grills, and I know in India same thing, we do same thing. We have a metal grill covering the window, and then you have a window inside or window outside, right? So try to see that if you are building a new house, don't use metal there. Use something else, but not metal. Because metal is not, less the metal in the house, the better you are in terms of your health. So less metal. Okay, then flooring. When you are using a flooring, and you are very fortunate, you guys are very fortunate, we can't do in America, especially on the Midwest and North, because I see here almost everywhere tiles and marbles and granites and stones. These are the most beautiful material. You must use and don't use carpet. Throw away carpet if you have. That's who was saying, you were saying, that's another change you do. Remove the carpet. If you have any carpet is no good, and I tell you why. You lift the carpet. How many times you lift your carpet? I'm not talking about rugs, carpet. When you lay down on your floor, once in 10 years, when you do change. Otherwise, it's always there. We put a hoover, right? We clean them and we do all those nice things. So from the top it looks very nice, but at the bottom it creates bacteria with the water, with the moisture. And that bacteria stays and goes in air, you breathe it and you have a respiratory problem. And people who have a respiratory problem, they really go tonight and take away carpet from your floor. Do something else, but no carpet in your floor. So that's the advice, yes.
But little carpets is not such a problem because you can take them out.
Rugs is good because you can take them out, but then you have to do that. You have to take them out, wash them every 6 months or a year and put it back. Or if it's a summer, more often you put it out and get the air out so that there are no bacteria or moisture is left in it. If it does, you do have a respiratory problem, and medicine is the one can help you. But why you have a medicine? Why not to cure something with a simple thing like not to have a carpet, or if you have rugs, you clean them. So stone is the best. First, stone, marble, they are all in the same category. So that is good. That's number one. If you don't do, wooden floor is also good. You can do wooden floor. If somebody likes wooden floor, and if they have a structure which is a wooden building, wooden floor is okay. But to make sure, the polishing of the wooden floor should not be toxic. Like a varnish, they use the varnish. There are all the what you should use, and it's hard to find, but see if you can get it. It's called beeswax and turpentine. Beeswax and turpentine. If you don't find this product ready-made, then you have to make your own. And it's easy. Just take a turpentine and put the liquid, make a liquid wax and stir it, and then you apply it on your wood, and it's no harm there. It doesn't hurt you. But if you use like, what do you call? We use like a varnish, which is polyurethane, that's the word. It's made out of plastic. It's a plastic particle in liquid. You lay down, and then the air keeps rotating in your house, and the particle of plastic lifts up in air, and you are breathing and breathing and breathing, and eventually your system gets clogged because you already laid down the wrong material. They all say this on their manufacturing. Every time you buy building material or anything in nowadays, read the instruction. And if you don't understand, because they use so much highly chemistry and chemical word, so you don't understand. Because you don't understand, you don't inquire. But you will find out that those are the words you should be familiar now, because we are living in a very different world. We are living in a world that they cheat you differently. Intelligently they cheat you, and that's not good. So, please.
Mostly of the pipes, of the water pipes, we use copper.
Oh, you use copper in this town?
Yeah.
Oh. That has to stop. PVC. Use PVC. Copper will eventually produce lead. And lead will become so. Okay. This is what lead does to the human body. Lead will deteriorate your mental power. You will become retarded. Or your children will become retarded very quickly. In America, those children which are exposed with a copper pipe, or I think it's a copper and lead sometimes, they mix together. They drink that water, and children, when they grow up, they are not mentally intelligent. It's not children's fault. I think it's our fault now, because we know, once we know, we should change it. At least up to where the pipe comes to your house, change those pipes and put a PVC pipe. It's called PVC, it's like a plastic pipe. It's good because PVC is only bad when you have a temperature going 130 degree in water, which never happens. So it will never melt the plastic, PVC, and it will be okay. Please.
The water company is changing them for plastic.
Oh, they do?
The one who's going to the house, that one we used to do with copper.
Okay. So that's what she's saying, that the one which coming in your house, if that is copper, all the way to your sink, to your washer dryer, to your bathroom, I think you should change it. Because that water is no good for you. And if you're drinking that water, it's more serious. So please take an attention on the types of pipe. We are talking about pipe, the water you drink, okay? So the water you use for washing and cleaning, it may be okay. Yes.
Confused now.
Yes.
Because in India, sir, they use copper vessel to drink water.
Second, if you...
In India, they use copper vessel
Well, that's wrong. That's wrong.
to drink.
Yeah, which is wrong. But no, that is different. Now you're talking about Ayurveda. Now, let me go to that. That copper is not the same what they are using copper with a mix of lead as a pipe. See, copper is a very soft material. You have to add something more to make it a little bit harder. Although copper pipes you can bend easily, but they have to put lead in that in order to make it. I think that is what I have understood. But the pots and pans you buy in Ayurveda, they are 99% is copper. And that's why it's okay. But again in that, let me remind you one more thing, which they don't, or they may not tell you. It's good to drink water in a copper container if the copper is high number as a container. But you have to wash it every day thoroughly. Because if it oxidized, then you have a green thing, remember, or it becomes black, that's not good. So every day you have to use some kind of lime or something and make it shiny. And it's important you make it, it's not for shine, but you remove the oxidization on the pots and pans and then you drink the water. It's good to drink, but good point, yeah.
We use some stainless steel cups.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Stainless steel. Stainless steel and a glass. Glass, by the way, I don't know how many of you know, but glass is nothing more than a sand.
Yeah.
It's a sand from which they make the glass. So that is the earthiest material you can get. So it's good to drink in glass. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one question.
Please.
I think about safe energy, and I have planning to, when I build a house,
Yes.
that I want to use some inverters and battery that
Solar panel.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
You can do. That's very good.
Yeah, that's
the cleanest power.
Where to place it is.
Yeah.
I think that we need to put the inverter, the battery
Yeah.
outside the house,
Right.
like by the garage.
Right.
They are separate.
Right. If you are
Yes,
building
you
a
can
new house,
just make a
diagram. Yeah. Let me show you that.
yeah, where to place it.
Yeah. So what you do is, this is your land,
Yeah.
and you enter, and this is your house, and you put a garage. You should put a garage here. This is north.
And
This
not
is
connected to the house. You cannot use one
No,
wall.
don't connect them. Don't connect them.
Don't connect
You
them.
keep the distance as much as possible. And
Oh.
then in this garage, you can create a room, and that could be for storing the battery and
Oh, that's
converter.
good. Yeah.
Okay? And the roof of the garage you can use to put the solar panel. Or you can create a stand here. They also make a sometimes stand, and it's on a south side or southeast corner of the house where you can put the stand and then they put the solar panel on that. Wind generator should be here. And
Wind
because-
just like wind chart.
Right, and you need wind chakra. You need both in some places. I don't know about this island, but in United States we use both because when there is a wind, we don't have a sun.
Yeah.
And when there is a sun, there is no wind.
Yeah.
All right. So what we do is that we use solar panel and wind generator. And my office is, we have quite a number of experts working with my office. And we did a first house, we call it off the grid. And in 1993, and we have an award, my office has received an award doing the off the grid house. So what we did is that we used, and I can go a little bit, this is good, anybody who is doing a new house, or when you do the new house, think about all these things, very, this is what is new thing happening in the world. Because if the government is not going to change, we are going to change it. And that is the really motto here, that now we are tired with the government, so we are, and any government, it's not this island or America or India, all are like that. They all come from another marriage, I think. But, sorry, if anybody present, Prime Minister or Minister, I apologize. But coming back to, right, the alternate energy. So solar panel and a wind generator will give you the very pure electrical energy. It gives you 24 watts.
Yeah.
And then you have to convert it to make it AC or DC. I think you can do both. And then you can operate your equipment. Now you have to be careful. When you do that, all your equipment in the house has to be high efficiency equipment, meaning that they use less electrical energy.
Yeah.
If they do high, then you need to have probably 10 dozen solar panel if you are using a normal refrigerator. So this is a secret that if you use solar panel and wind generator, the statistics is this. In 7 to 10 years, the money you invest, you get all money back.
Yes.
Because you are, from the day one, you are not having any utility bill coming to your house. You guys, and especially you all on this island, I'm surprised I haven't seen enough solar panel here in this town. Why? What's wrong here?
Yeah, the thing is, most of the people don't invest in that.
Well,
way.
but think like this. Okay, let me see. What's your monthly bill?
Yeah, my monthly bill at the house is about 500 gilden.
No, I'm utility bill. Yeah.
Utility totally is like water with electricity.
Yeah.
It's about 500 gilden. It's like about 300 gilden.
Okay.
300
guilders.
Yeah,
Right, 300 guilders.
Yeah, and I pay about
$300.
Yeah,
$200.
Yeah, $200 in electricity and $100 in
Water.
water.
Okay. So this is what you do. If your bill is $300 average
Yeah.
per month, in order to get more than half the electricity, you invest $15,000.
Yeah.
And in 7 years, you don't pay anything. So just take 7 months, 7 years, multiply with $150 because half of 300 is 150, right? Multiply $150 times 7 years, and it will be more than $15,000.
Yeah.
So less than in 7 to 10 years, you got your money back, what you invest. After that, you are not paying anything.
Yeah, this-
People don't have to invest the money to invest.
So what people have not money to invest? Get the loan. Get the loan. Do you get a loan or not? Some people get loan.
Yeah, they pay.
Okay. Now I appreciate. Sure.
They take a loan for a house.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I have a choice and I'm just living to you, I would not buy a car. I will have a scooter in this island. You don't need a car. But I would put a solar panel because two things. You are defeating the monopoly of the electrical company. That's number one. I like to do that because I'm tired of it then. And number two is that you are having a purest energy you can get from the sun. There is no other pure energy than that. So even its electricity is much purer. It doesn't have a fault in that. It doesn't go on and off. It doesn't jump so much. It's a very regular cycle there. So that's good to do either solar panel and or wind generator. That's your electricity. Then we'll talk about water also, and I have some solution to throw you guys. Yeah.
Wind generator, in the same position as a solar panel?
If you have a wind generator, I told you it should go to the northeast corner.
Yes.
Okay, to the northeast corner of the house. That's the location for the wind.
Yeah.
Okay, it supports the wind. So, and the fire is always in this corner. That's a fire. So that's where it supports all the heat, like electricity, or even if you are doing cookout. And I know you all do cookout here. It's a nice weather. So go on the southeast corner and put your burner there and do the cookout in that corner of the house. So let's talk about water. Yes.
One more thing about the copper. You just remember that year after, so we have a high number of people with kidney problems.
Here we go.
Could it be because of the copper?
It does. It's one of the factors because the lead does block the kidney pessimists,
Mhm.
and it's a cause, but and also the mental. There are in America we have a lot more children are retarded. It's just sad to say. Here is a very wealthiest country in the world, but the poorest health quality. In fact, you guys are more healthy in my opinion than we are in America, because we have a lots of technological problem. One is lead, another one is about pollution. We use 34% of the gas of the world. Amount of gas they produce in the world, America is using 34%. So I'm not breathing air, I'm breathing gas all the time.
They are changing to hybrid now. The people begin to change to the hybrid system, to the hybrid cars there.
No, not yet. Not yet. Well, we started. Well, it's only 2%. It's a 2. We have also another they call hydraulic car. It works on a hydrogen.
Hydrogen.
Right, it's like a water. Almost it's a water.
You have cars like that.
Right, but it's government is giving. Well, last month our President Bush, he gave $5 million for a research and $50 million to utility company to make electricity. 5 million and 50 billion to electricity. Now, how serious they are making a alternative energy to run the car? We are in a different world here. So water, right? So water in the house. If you think that your bill is high and if you have enough land, put the water well in your house, in your land, water well. You put the well and then pump the water.
Oh, deep well. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That should be in a
What corner?
northeast corner of the house. Northeast corner of the house. Or north or east. But it's good, the first place is northeast. So that's where you put your water well, or if you are doing a swimming pool, that's where the swimming pool should be. Or if you are doing pond, that's where the pond should be. So that's the northeast corner. It's a good energy, yes.
We have a problem here on the island because the water, you should go very deep to get the water. So if everybody comes with a water pump, then you have to go much deeper to get water.
Well, I appreciate that information, but then I don't know what's the answer. I mean, to be independent is a very important thing eventually. More you become independent, the better you are. Because one of my clients, he does not pay any money for any utility bill, period.
Yeah, that's good.
Knowing this problem, what's the solution? Well, the solution,
Yeah.
the solution is that you have to rely on, there is no solution, you have to rely on public utility. Because that they are the only one who can give you the water. Because if you have to go too deep, and if it is expensive to pump the water out, and you have to find out how much it costs. How much cost to dig the ground, to put the pump, and run every day, and see what that cost comes out, and compare it with your water bill.
No, that's not my point. My point is if everybody does it, there's not, we have to go still deeper.
Because there's not enough water in
The
the
water is not at the surface, it's not at the surface.
Because we don't have
So this is another thing will happen on your island, and this is not you can do enough about it. I think your government will have to make this decision someday. And I tell you what's the solution. Solution is that I know they never do. But this is what that they have to, because I think you are going to run out of water someday, right? That's what is happening. If you run out of water, that's what they did in Australia. In Australia, they take the seawater, remove the salt.
That is what we drink.
That's what you drink?
Yes.
the big companies.
That's it. So that's the best. That is all you can do, I think.
But now, because of the high bills, there are some hotels putting that, I think there are some already. They do the same thing like the big company, it's smaller for their facility.
Okay.
So I think
So-
maybe by the year, more people start doing that, because the sea is already there.
Okay.
All the
So,
company of the government have to be wise and put bills down.
right. No, true. I mean, that is, when you have a mass problem, like no water in the ground, you can't solve anymore yourself. Then ultimately government have to indulge in it. I don't think there is any other solution. Yeah, please.
We used to have wells everywhere and then a whole system of irrigation on the whole island. But we have built in places where we're not supposed to build, so the whole water system is kind of complicated with that.
Sure. But again,
it
this is
depends
a-
on where you live, because if you live in the middle of the island, all water comes there, and then there's no problem. But if you live in the east, there's almost no water because the water doesn't stay there. It goes somewhere else. So it
water
depends-
But then why not to
Go to
make
the
a water
seabed.
storage in the middle of the island?
It depends on where you live.
Okay, but if they make a water storage in an island, middle of the island,
We used
and
to have
then they store the water in tank on a higher level and then they pump it back to the houses, might work, right?
We used to have dams for that.
Okay.
Martha should know better than me, but we
Okay.
used to have that water reservoir.
Oh, okay.
All
And
the
let's
time.
try out
I
too.
think for a few years past,
Yeah.
they didn't do a right planning of the building cities, not
Yeah,
cities, but
yeah.
how you call it?
Yeah,
Neighborhoods.
right, right.
And then they start building on places where we keep like tanks of water, naturally tanks of water.
Oh, okay.
And that's why all the water runs back to the sea. The rainwater runs back to the sea.
Oh.
And it don't stay along.